Hello and welcome back to Getting Handsy. This is Bob Boss. Today I'm going to show you how I painted my Tau box. I'm actually going to start right off with the big guy, the Ghost Key. So I'm going to try to show my paints this time. The problem is I've got these old paints. The white I'm going to use is that same brand, it's just white. I don't know the specific name. My plan is just to cover most of the armor plates in white, so that's what I start with. I've never really painted white before, so this was kind of a process, but basically I just did a number of layers to try and get it an appropriate amount of coverage, I guess. Now here I tried to put some flesh color under the white to see if it would make it easier to paint, I guess. It ended up being more hassle than I thought it was worth, so I eventually just switched back to doing straight white. Here I switched to a light gray, just the same brand as those others, just the label's missing. Basically I'm going to use the light gray as kind of an outline for the larger white pieces. Those are the two main colors I'm using for the whole model though, is this white and light gray. I start jumping around, so here's kind of a status. I'm just going between the white and the gray, kind of alternating colors in between these plates and little sections on the model. So now I'm going to use this maroon color. I end up only using it as a base for the Crotch Banner, but I use it as kind of like the dark layer on this, the banner, basically. And I'm trying not to cover up the white that I've put in these indentations, so that'll leave the symbols, hopefully. Here's another little status update. Then I changed to a brighter red to go over top of the maroon. My hope was to give it kind of some highlights, I guess, and it worked for the most part. Then I decided on like a deep blue. It's going to be used very sparingly though. Then I switched to a light blue to see if I could highlight that darker blue. After a bit it sort of works. My goal with the blue was actually to get to the face, because most Tau have like blue skin, I guess, so I thought it would be nice to bring that into this giant robot. Then I start with a metallic nickel. I'm not good enough to use any of those non-metallic metal paint scheme things. But I go around and use that on a number of spots that I think look better as metal pieces and less like their plasticky armor. Here's another long section of just going back and forth between white and gray, kind of picking these spots on the arms, legs, alternating the colors, so on and so forth. Now here I go back to that blue and kind of try to do some weird like energy type stuff, I guess. I don't know. I do the dark blue below and then a little bit of light blue on top. Try to make it kind of blended, although I'm not very good at that. It doesn't turn out too terrible, so I'm okay with it. Next I try a Vallejo Wash. It's just black wash over some of the gray areas, but I don't really like it. It turns too dark, so I get rid of it. Basically, I then just try to put it in all the cracks to make the cracks darker, which is sort of what it's supposed to be used for, I think. But I just tried really hard not to get it on the actual white and gray because it was making them both muddy looking. I did end up putting the wash over the metal pieces, which I think looks good. It makes them a bit darker, so that's nice. Then I'm back to fixing up what I don't like, which is that gun. I didn't like the wash on the gun, so I repainted it white. The wash on all the like vents and stuff on the back worked pretty well though, so I kept that. Here's another quick little turnaround. Then to finish it, I'm using this light brown for the base, kind of like a dirty, dusty mud color. Then I decided to just use some Army Painter wash on the bottom, just kind of in some spots. Nothing too fancy, just kind of give it some texture, I suppose. So there's the giant robot though, so moving on. Next I'm going to work on one of the fire warriors. These went much faster than the big guy, because, you know, smaller, way smaller. So I basically start the same way I did with the giant robot. White for kind of the armor plates. There's just much less on these guys. Once I get the white in most of the areas I want, I switch to that light gray again. I use it on the belt and pouches, but actually on most of the other ones I switched to that light brown to kind of make them leather pouches. I thought it looked better. Once I get most of the gray on there, I switch to the red. This is another one of those where I'm going to use it fairly sparingly, just in a couple spots. Just going to kind of make things pop, so like that shoulder and then the groin stuff again. Then back to more gray. I decided to make most of the guns white because that's how I think the regular Tau box is, so. But I do add some gray, or on some of the other models, the metal metallic looking stuff on some of the barrels. Now this guy has an open head and an eye patch, so I'm going to use kind of light brown to make it look leathery. Now I'm going to use that like deep royal blue for the face. And here's that lighter blue to kind of make it lighten up a little bit, especially on the top areas as kind of highlights, I guess. It's not super detailed, and it looks fine from far away. Just don't look at it too closely. Then I decided to use a Vallejo blue wash to see if I could kind of blend it together. Next I used that Vallejo black wash on most of the gray areas, just kind of to darken it up. After that I try this Army Painter soft tone on the white, just to try and give it some shades and stuff. It's alright, but it basically just makes it kind of like a dirty, I don't know, sand armor almost. It would probably work on like a sand stormtrooper or whatever those are from Star Wars. But basically I had to go back in and ended up adding a lot more white back over those spots that I did that on, because I just thought it was too dirty. As a last little final bit, I go back in and try to add some like lighter gray highlights on some of the darker gray spots now that I've darkened everything up. For the base, I'm doing the same thing I did with the big guy, light brown on the bottom, and then kind of a washy bit over top. And here's that wash and just some squiggly patterns. Just as a final side note on these, I did try some other washes on top of the white. Upper left is no wash, and then the other three are different color washes. I've got one more to show you. I'm going to do a drone real quick. Starting with that light gray again. I decided to do most of the under part of the drone as this light gray. And then the top gun, I guess, little thing, laser thing. Then I went back to the white for the main armor parts like the rest of the models. Then I went with the metallic-y nickel again for the like metal tail things. Back to that Vallejo black wash to put on the gray. I decided to go with that Army Painter soft tone over the white again. It does the same sort of thing, kind of makes it dusty, dirty, deserty looking. So I put some extra white over the top again at the end. At the very end, I decided to just make some little red eyes, so. Then that same light brown and wash to finish it. So there you go, that's how I painted all of those guys. Well, the same basic idea for all of them. Some of them got a couple extra colors, but that's basically it. So what'd you think? Did they turn out all right? I think they did, but who knows? Let me know down in the comments. And also, what do you think we should print next? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. And as always, thanks for watching.